I see. So that's where they are. There's one fact that Mad Hatter neglected to tell you, Oni-chan. In the timeline that you originally reached, aside from not losing your life in the shelter, there was one more thing about fate that was different. Different? There was only one human Remio killed that fateful day. Though she suffered from grievous wounds, your mother managed to survive Remio's evil smiting blade. Most likely the tattoos scrawled all over her body, as well as the natural resistance to magic she was born with, had the effect of nullifying the exorcism effect of the sword. After her wounds healed, your mother found the orphanage that Remio had taken you to, and a few years later, you left that place and began living with her as mother and child. You still met Yuma at the orphanage, and the fact that you both went to the same schools and the same university was also unchanged. The big difference was the fact that your mother lived. In other words, the big change in your actual timeline wasn't only that you didn't lose your life in the shelter. The timeline where your mother survived was the timeline in which you were originally from. Your mother became obsessed with retrying the ceremony once again. It seems she started meeting with members of that cult without telling you. But you ended up dying in the shelter, and your mother was so racked with despair at having her ambitions crushed that she took her own life. That is the outline of the original timeline. But because of certain events surrounding you, that reality was distorted by intervention. And the timeline where I survived had an increased chance of that ceremony being conducted? Are you saying Mad Hatter used his intervention authority to erase my mother from existence just to clear up some loose ends? That's right! Just like when he erased Hyaki's tribe. Though, to be precise, it wasn't exactly Mad Hatter who was doing it. It was the will of the higher powers using him. Just like that, your one and only blood relative was erased from the face of the earth. She felt no small amount of love for you as both as her son and as the link to her deceased husband. She really was trying to be a mother. You also felt the same way as you grew older. You worked hard as a student, wanting to one day be able to support the mother who had raised you by herself. I mean, you wouldn't have done that if you hadn't been raised to be so kind-hearted. I think even the old one made a miscalculation on that part. Your mother, who was supposed to be a faithful servant of the old one, was raising you in a way that deviated significantly from his plans. That's why it had me alter the outcome of the ceremony. As the intended sacrifice had become far too knowledgeable about the wider world, the chances of the ceremony being successfully carried out had become vanishingly small. But Mad Hatter still erased your mother regardless, just to smother an incredibly tiny risk. But thanks to his attention being elsewhere, we were able to take the initiative, such as when we unleashed Mukuro and ensured certain possible choices were not erased. The higher powers fix the timeline to their own whims and benefits. They've been doing it for a long time with the intervention Mad Hatter. Only the people who belong to this world can change their fate. All worlds are bound by those change, but the higher-ups can just remove anyone who misbehaves. What are you trying to say? On one side, you've had Mad Hatter, who revises history on the orders of the higher-ups. On the other, you have us, who are merging all the worlds into one on the orders of the old one. What do you think the difference is between us? We're not being manipulated, neither are we being forced to devour worlds. We're actually working to merge all the worlds because we sympathize with Old One. I mean, isn't it frustrating, Kazuya-ni, that demon war might never have happened in your world if it weren't for their interventions? That's why we're creating a world where fate isn't set in stone, where intervention doesn't exist, and the people have the power to make their own destiny. A world where the higher powers have no reach. A world where everyone lives in harmony. A world without death, where humans and demons can coexist. I can create any world you desire, Oni-chan. Once I've finished consuming worlds and the world of nothingness is complete. I can create an entire world just for us, and not a tiny space like this. But why? Why would you create a world for me? If you're devouring old worlds on the orders of Old One, wouldn't you be trying to create a world for it instead of me? There's a fundamental difference between me and Mad Hatter, and that is our ability to disregard the orders we're given. Just think about it. The moment it didn't need you anymore, it changed you into the Ubo Satla form. We aren't about to hand you over to that kind of thing. I've turned strange, just like Cheshire did. I want to have you all to myself. Let's make a world together, one without interventions. We can make anything, change anything as we see fit, but we want the real Kazuya-ni here with us. Let's be happy together, together with us, and with the ones who you love. Kazuya. Kazuya. Of course we're going to reject Abaddon's world. It's all an illusion. It's a fake. Those people would just be standing there like some kind of puppets. Plus, doing this for all of my sake is too selfish. If you really want to be with me, how about you try come talking to me in the real world? Instead of trying to create a world where it's just us. If you weren't so murderous, we could probably get along. Reject Abaddon's world. I can't. The world you're going to create will be nothing but fake. I understand the idea behind what you're trying to do here, but I can't leave everyone behind. My world is the only one I have. No matter how hard things get, or how many people I can't save. And that's because everyone's there. They aren't perfect, but they're all desperately trying to protect the world they live in by defeating you. Lucy, Nina, Titanoboa, along with everyone else. I'm connecting to them all by the bonds we share, and I'm going to go home to them. You're so nice, Oni-chan, even though we don't need anyone but you. But is that what you really want? Are the bonds with those demons more important than your mother? My mother was a bitch. She tried to sacrifice me to an old god. She should be burning in hell. It's where she belongs. Can you really accept the death of Mika and your parents? Again, parents need to be burning in hell. They were in a cult, sacrificed their own child to an old god. Mika is also kind of a bitch. She was a member of MOW. She worked for MOW the whole time. She got close to Yuma solely so she could get closer to Kazuya. And she's been a backstabbing bitch the entire way. So yeah, they can all burn for all I care. I understand what's going on. It's the intervener who's made you think that way. You've been alive for 20 years, and yet the intervener has only been with you since you woke up in the shelter. So it's no wonder that you've been made to think of the bonds with those demons in a positive light. You're nothing but a thorn in my side. Get out! Get out, Kazi and me! Intervention target has been lost. Searching for abnormal handling media. I'm glad I noticed you earlier. Knowing you, I was sure you'd still be stuck to him. You lost the moment you came here, Cheshire. I mean, it means I don't have to bother actually eating the rest of you, since you're now already inside my stomach. You're an intervention medium. So if you're here, then they can seem to hear as well. We'll take all of your intervention power. That'll stop them from being able to intervene, and actually leave us alone with Oni-chan. Damn it! How much ammo do you have left, Naoki? I just ran out. I guess this is it for us. Stop whining! Use that block of wood to smack them if you have to. We got to protect the container that the kid's in at all costs. What are these holes? More of them are starting to appear. If this keeps up... Liz, do you regret being together with me? Ha! A little late for that. I'm happy as long as you don't have any regrets, Haru. Thanks. Genonina comes. Amazing, Sphinx-chan! There were so many, you got them all! The power of your magic is quite something. I didn't realize you had those kinds of abilities. Magic's always been my strong suit. I won't lose to those twins as long as I have this burdock I got from Auntie Titania. How are you talking with that in your mouth? It's not a burdock, it's a fairy wand! My goodness. But what's going on anyway? First a strange monster suddenly show up in the fairy realm. Now all those holes are appearing. It looks like we managed to hold them off for now. I have no idea how to fix the root of the problem. Just what on earth are we supposed to do? The outside world is the same way. Both the town and the park. Holes everywhere. If it's the same both here and out there, does that mean they're trying to destroy the world itself? Me hate them! They everywhere in harbor. Lots of holes too! I don't really understand what the holes are all about, so I'll leave dealing with them to you guys while I deal with any more of those monsters appearing. I still got plenty of juice left. To be honest, I could probably deal with them all by myself if I had to. Things might go south if something actually powerful shows up though. Like Geno Titano Boa. Hey, this isn't what we agreed upon. You said you wouldn't touch my world if I helped you. You made a promise. My room is empty. It's all over. Everyone in my room has disappeared, along with your connection to Kazuya. Don't worry, I'll take good care of him. We'll never hand him over to the likes of the old one. Even if it manifests in this new world, he's the one thing we'll never let it meddle with. He's our precious Oni-chan, after all. Because this is all about making Kazuya happy, and we won't let you trample on that. All you can do is close the window and pray for his happiness in his new world. Sorry, I can't. Please use with that, you should be able to. You remember how to main menu those keys. Please save. No signal. Error occurred. Game crashed. Alright. Next time, we have to perform some hacks in order to save the world. But that's next time. Later.